Well, let's bring in Han Park now. He's the director of the Center for the Study of Global Issues at the University of Georgia here in the United States. Han Park has traveled to North Korea several times. Nice to have you with us. What do you think's going on in Pyongyang?
I think it's calm. It's calm. I think we should not overreact to this situation. It's important to realize that Kim Jong-un is important. But in terms of the leadership structure and leadership culture there, Kim Jong-un is not going to be as important as his father, certainly as his grandfather, because he's surrounded by not just specific individuals, surrounded by party leadership, military leadership. In fact, the two really coincide.
And did a vacuum begin to develop since 1994 that has allowed other people perhaps to take control of the situation rather than the individual members of the family?
Right, certainly not the individual members of the family, not even individual members in the political system. It's much more institutionalized than we are led to believe. The Politburo of the Korea Workers' Party, I have known one party secretary for some time, and it's important for us to realize that it is a collective mechanism placed there, and vital decisions are made collectively.
But have they perhaps been made already to the extent that we know Kim Jong-il had been very, very ill in September 2008, and perhaps that gave them time to consider what might happen in the event of his death?
Yeah, his death happened a little sooner than anyone expected. The health was failing, but not abruptly like this. But yes, the leadership has been preparing to cope with this eventuation with policy directions and so on.
So that would perhaps spell security, but what is it that Pyongyang is going to be looking at the international community for now, considering that it's the international community who are very much looking at what's taking place in Pyongyang right now for signs of instability?
You know, when Kim Il-sung died, Kim Jong-il needed to establish his power base with militarism, whereas this Kim Jong-un doesn't have any charisma, doesn't have a military background. I don't think he has any great deal of foundation in the military organization. So he needs to deliver in terms of economic output to the people. So his policy would be more outgoing, outwardly, and perhaps more conciliatory than his father.
But that depends, of course, if he has the flexibility and the strength to allow that against the collective leadership of the military, as you say.
Yeah, but I guess we should understand that North Korea has always been reacting to international and South Korean policies. So much has to do with, much in terms of what will happen in North Korea, has to do with what will happen in international community.
So you're saying the international community shouldn't overreact, but what about China and South Korea, presumably, and Japan, the US? They will see perhaps windows for opportunity here. Are they misguided?
I think China is entirely on a different boat. China doesn't want any kind of instability in the North Korean system. China wants North Korea communist system to be sustained. So if anything, China will increase its support and assistance to this country, whereas Japan and South Korea are different. There are many circles in those democratic systems who think that this might be an opportunity to soften, to open it up.
A very final quick question, if I may. What should we be looking out for in the coming days and weeks that would give us an indication of continuity or perhaps instability, both in the country and regionally?
I think within the country, it will be continuity, within certainly short terms. In reverence for the deceased, they will show all kinds of maneuvers to make sure that they are stable. But in terms of South Korea, in terms of Japan, and some circles in the United States, there may be heightened alert, and hopefully there will not be any hostile policies toward Pyongyang at this time.
Dr. Han Park, there we must leave it. Thank you very much.
Right. You're welcome. Thank you.
Now let's take a look at how the markets in Asia reacted to the news of Kim Jong-il's death. Here's how the Asian markets closed out the day, and all, as you can see, in negative territory. Look at the Seoul Kospi there in South Korea, down almost 3.5% on the day's trading. Well, analysts warn we could see even more volatility in the next few days as uncertainty continues over the future of North Korea. European markets, though, you can see they've about an hour left in their trading day, all trading in positive territory, albeit quite slight there in the case of the London FTSE. Let's take a look at Wall Street. The Dow Jones is, as the trading day